If you are ready to pack your bags and head off on the ultimate road trip, we have compiled a list to help you of the 10 top road trips in the USA.
Now, road trips have become one of the top ways to get around in the world, really, but more so because of 2020 and everything that has happened. Obviously, less people are flying and more people are getting out on the roads. So road trips are fun rather than looking at the same thing out the window. Everything is new, and you can stop and find some really unique places along the way.
There are so many road trips in the US that you could take, but we've narrowed our list down to 10 to help you find the ultimate road trip and help you start planning your next vacation.
And now, while we chose these road trips, we tried to choose lots of them across the whole entire country, rather than every single road trip we would always find would be like in California, so we didn't want to dedicate it to just the West Coast, but rather the whole entire United States. But of course, if you haven't already and love traveling, we highly recommend you hit that red subscribe button and that bell notification to make sure you get notified about our future videos that we post. And don't forget to go on over to our Instagram, where you can view behind the scenes content as well as other things we don't post on our channel here. You can follow us at Our Unsettled Journey. Now, the first road trip on our list takes us down south to the Sunshine State of Florida, and the very southernmost portion of the United States, down to the Florida Keys. For this road trip, you can drive down the Florida Keys Oversea Highway, also known as Highway 1. Now, this road trip is approximately 100 miles long, and if you're driving from Miami to the Florida Keys down to Key West, it'll take roughly 3.5 to 4 hours. And some notable things to do along the way are go stop at Key Largo, where you can go snorkeling and see some very interesting fish in the ocean of the beautiful crystal clear waters of the Florida Keys. And if you're getting hungry, you can stop down to get some good old-fashioned key lime pie right where it all started. Now, we recommend you go stop at this place at mile marker 92.2, where you can get some good old key lime pie, and the place is called the Blonde Giraffe. And along this road trip, you also pass over the 7-mile bridge, which is also known as the largest bridge in the Florida Keys. So nonetheless, what a beautiful road trip the Florida Keys has to offer.
So if you are new to our channel, Matt and I are from Atlanta, Georgia. That's where we currently live. And in our backyard comes our next road trip, which is driving along the Blue Ridge Parkway. The Blue Ridge Parkway is a 469-mile long highway that stretches from Skyline Drive in Virginia all the way near Cherokee, North Carolina, and the Great Smoky Mountains. Along the parkway, there are 369 miles of various trails for you to hike on. As you're driving, you'll reach a peak of over 6,000 feet, and along the way, you'll drive in and out of 29 different counties. So that's just some facts about the Blue Ridge Parkway. And some highlights along the way are going to be the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. They have really nice lodging there. Of course, you can take tours of the estate itself. They have the stables and different restaurants outside, as well as a winery on site, so you can do some tastings and maybe purchase a bottle of wine to take home with you. Outside the town of Galax, Virginia, you'll find the Blue Ridge Music Center, which is worth a stop as it is a music venue, a visitor center, and a museum. So there's a lot to see there as well, and one of the highlights along the way to stop at if you're driving along the Blue Ridge Parkway. Of course, this scenic parkway is especially busy in the fall time when the leaves are starting to change. It offers you great views of not only the changing leaves colors, but of the Blue Ridge Mountains.
So the next road trip on our list is called the Oregon Trail. And most people can relate to this as the good old game that we used to play in school, but it actually is a real road trip that you can take really across the whole United States, from Oregon all the way to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Now, the original trail went from Oregon City to Independence, Missouri, but has since then been extended across the rest of the United States. Some of the really cool spots along this road trip are Yellowstone National Park, Mount Rushmore, Niagara Falls, and even Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Now, the route itself is about 3,300 miles long, and it will take quite some time to get across that, so we highly recommend staying and spacing out each trip.
Let's talk about the Alaska-Canadian Highway. The highway itself was constructed in 1942, and the route is 1,390 miles long in its entirety. Along this highway, we recommend seeing and stopping at the Liard River Hot Springs Provincial Park. And also, making sure to stop at Post Forest, which is Watson Lake's most famous attraction, where they have over 77,000 displayed signs, and you can actually bring your own signs to add to the collection, or just visit the visitor center there, which has a lot of information about the history of the forest. You can look at photos, murals, and more to learn about the history there. This road trip is going to take you from Vancouver, British Columbia, all the way up to Anchorage, Alaska. So because you are going through 2 different countries, make sure to bring your passport on this one.
Now, the San Juan Scenic Byway is one of the many great road trips to take in Colorado, more specifically the southwest part of the state, and it spans 233 miles long. Now, to do this loop, you should allow up to 7 hours and a little bit of time to go stop at different cute little places you may find along the way. Cute little shops, nice little restaurants. But when you take this trip, we recommend going during the fall where you can catch those aspen trees at their peak foliage. But nonetheless, this 233-mile loop will take you in a loop, and it is very, very beautiful to say the least.
Need I say more than Maui, Hawaii? As a true paradise of its own, Maui, Hawaii draws in a lot of visitors, but they actually have a pretty famous road trip that you can do if you plan to visit there. The road to Hana is a 64-mile-long highway that connects the town of Kaului to Hana on the east side of the island. While there are many stops along the way for you to take advantage of, some of our recommendations are the Ho'okipa Lookout, which you can sit and watch the surfers. It's probably one of the best surf spots in all of Hawaii. And Twin Falls, which is a hike you can do, and at the end, of course, once you reach the Twin Falls, there is an opportunity to swim at the base of the falls. We also suggest you check out the Hana lava tube, as Hawaii is of course known for volcanoes, so if you have the opportunity to go checking out a lava tube, definitely take advantage, but there are so many sites on this particular road to Hana, you'll want to plan a full day of driving or more, depending on how often you want to stop. Another really popular road trip that we get recommended a lot to do is the Pacific Coastal Highway in California. The Pacific Coastal Highway is the largest state highway in California. Going at a good pace, it's going to take you about 10 hours to get from one end to the other. On this road trip, you're going to stop off in some really cool California cities like San Francisco, Santa Cruz, San Jose, and Monterey. Now, our tip is that when you take this Pacific Coastal Highway in California, do it from north to south. That's going from San Jose down the coast, because that way your car will be on the ocean side the entire way, giving you those unobstructed ocean views where you can see out across the water and also the jagged edge and rocky cliffs below.
So another less known road trip, but a really, really cool find is Minnesota Route 61. Now, also known as the North Shore Lake Superior Drive, this takes you from Duluth all the way to Pigeon River and even beyond if you want to keep going into even Canada. Now, as mentioned before, this goes 150 miles along the Great Old Lake Superior. And now this trip is unique in itself because it is very historical. It has a lot of lighthouses such as the Two Harbors Lighthouse and the Grand Marinas Lighthouse, to name a few, as well as some unique natural features such as Black Beach, which features black sand that you may not find anywhere else. There are also a couple cool waterfalls such as High Falls and even Gooseberry Falls, just to name a couple waterfalls along this route. As well as the Glen Sheen Estate, which features 27,000 square feet with 39 rooms. This mansion surely is something cool to see along the way.
Now, to take a journey through time, we recommend traveling along the Utah Scenic Byway, which is a 122-mile stretch. At the very summit of this particular trip is 9,000 feet above sea level, and their scenic overlook is going to offer you amazing, incredible views of the desolate land surrounding Utah. The nice thing about this drive is you aren't too far off from places like Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, and the Dixie National Forest. So if you're in the area checking out these attractions anyway, it's a very close distance to the Scenic Byway. This area is known for diverse geography and monumental structures. The Scenic Byway is free, so it makes for a really cost-effective option, and there's really no bad time to see it. We wouldn't recommend going in the wintertime though, because there's running the risk of snow and treacherous conditions. There's also not too much around the area, so make sure you bring a lunch. You won't find any McDonald's or any nice sit-down restaurants there near the Byway, so pack a lunch. Other than that, it offers a really awesome view from the summit at 9,000 feet up.
So probably one of the most famous road trips in the world is Route 66. Along Route 66, it will take you from Illinois all the way down to California, and you will travel through 8 states. Now this road trip itself has inspired so many different kinds of art forms, such as movies, TV shows, and even apparel to be designed around its historic charm. Now some people may say it's the ultimate symbol of America. Now on this road trip you will find a variety of sceneries such as farmland, mountains, deserts, big cities, as well as different cultural attractions along the way. So Route 66, definitely we want to go take it sometime, and we highly recommend that anyone out there, even if you can't make the full length of it, to just take bits and pieces, just to say that you did it.
So that was our list of 10 of the must-do road trips here in the US. Let us know in the comments below if you've done one of these road trips and what you liked best about it. We definitely look forward to hitting the road soon and seeing some of them ourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in next week's video. Bye!